Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of It's Monday. Gonna give everybody a moment to come on in. If you need to grab some water, run to the bathroom, whatever you need to do, go ahead and do it, and then come on in and get settled in. And I'll be back shortly. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of It's Monday. I hope that everyone is having a great Monday thus far. I'm a little bit all over the place, but it's all good. Welcome to another episode of It's Monday. I am your host, Carrie Spencer. I'm so happy to be here with you today. And It's Monday is a simple show where we have real talk about real life and usually connected to real faith. Some way, shape, or form, you can connect faith to our conversations. So, first off, I want to tap in and just check out how everybody is doing. Put my comments over right there. I hope everybody has been having a great one thus far. Weekend was good, hopefully. Hopefully the weather wasn't too bad. We had a lot of rain, but I think that was to be expected because the week earlier in the week we had like 100-degree days, so it was hot. Very, very hot. Hey, King Size. What's going on, Willie Greenway? Hope all is well. All right, so somebody took my garbage can. All right. All right, guys. So today, what are we talking about? So before we get into what we're going to be talking about today, I'm actually going to try something different. I realized that I would be like all up in my camera. So I'm going to pull this out and pull back so I can kind of sit back now. All right. So before we get into what we're going to talk about today, I just wanted to acknowledge you all, my community. I hate to just be like the chat, because some people even support the channel even though they might not be in the chat. I just wanted to take a moment and say thank you, because I recognize that I'm a little channel and still getting my feet kind of wet and grounded in this whole content space, especially content on my own. Now that I have an audience, see, if you guys take a peek, if you just take a peek when you're done with this stream and you go back and you look at my first video, you'll see that I have been on YouTube for a long time. And when I say long, I mean, what, my son is 13. I think my first video was when he was like 2. So I'm not new to YouTube. I'm not new to recording a video, but I'm new to an audience. And I'm definitely new to going live on YouTube. And I'm definitely new to feeling a different kind of a responsibility of consistency. So that's what I mean when I say, like, getting my feet wet, and I'm a small channel, and I don't take you all support lightly. I don't take y'all giving me your time that you cannot get back. I don't take that lightly. When you hear people like Mr. Beast and all these really, really successful YouTubers say, go ahead and like do your first 100 videos because nobody's gonna look at them anyway, and get started because you're gonna mess up, which you are. You're gonna mess up. You're gonna have horrible videos. Like, I'm going through the growing pains now. But nobody's watching it. Y'all are. And you all are somebody. So I just want you to know that I don't undervalue that. In fact, I value you all probably even more than anybody who will come later on down the line, because you guys are kind of walking this out with me. So thank you, thank you, thank you. This is my first live since, let's see, this is my first live since you were with the Anton show. Just want to hear what you're saying. I appreciate that, Willie Green, and I'm glad that you were able to tune in on Anton's channel. Hope you're still tuning in over there. Sure you are. And thank you for checking me out. So basically, Mr. Willie Greenway, I just decided one day that I wanted to start building on my content, but I didn't know where to pick up. And it came to me, just go live. And I'm like, but it's Monday. And I don't know if it was me or the Holy Spirit talking to me, but it was like, just go live. It's Monday. And so what I did was I went live and I called it It's Monday. And the topic of that show was I was not going to go live. And out of that came It's Monday. So now I basically come on every Monday and take things that have happened during the course of the week, real life stuff, which is why it's not one topic, real life stuff, things that maybe made me take a step back to think. Maybe I learned something. Maybe I had a question about something. Maybe something was presented before me. I saw something, whatever, and bring it here for conversation and hopefully some gems of wisdom, and wherever applicable, getting some scripture out of the word. So that's pretty much what It's Monday is about at this juncture. And that said, King Size, you said, have you thought of a name for your community yet? No, I have not. Do people name their communities? I guess they do. I haven't thought about a community. I have not thought about a name. If you have any names, let me know. And I don't like the names where it's like the somethingites, like the Carryites or the nothing like that. Nothing like that. So that's the first part. Now, that said, sometimes the topics that come up, I'm not sure if I should bring up, because I recognize that it might be a jump. And so I sometimes ask myself, so should I make this just like a recorded video that I do later on, or should I bring this to the live? And that's exactly where tonight's topic has fallen. It was one of those things where I was like, I don't know if people will, be interested in this or not, but it truly did come up for me during the week a couple of times. And without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and share this topic with you guys. Now, I'm going to go ahead and preface this, right? Because I'm not bringing this topic up because I'm an expert. I'm not bringing this topic up because I'm advocating one way or the other. In fact, even in preparing for this show, it was a little difficult because I'm not trying to like make a presentation to you all or anything like that. So I kind of want to do this a little bit organically. So we're just we're going to like rock out together with this. All right. So tonight's topic, let me clear this chat so that you can see. So tonight's topic is peptides, GLPs, health discernment. Peptides, GLPs, health discernment. Let me grab my water. 2 seconds, y'all. 2 seconds. Now I'm the one who said take a break and go grab your water, and I forgot my water. So, question for you real quick. Anybody who wants to share. Has anybody heard about GLPs? Has anybody heard about peptides? Anybody using them? Anybody know anything about them? Has this been a topic in any of you all's universes? Let me know in the comments. Let me know in the comments. So, why am I even bringing this topic up? Well, for a couple of reasons. I see some people going, it's okay. I hope the might not be a topic for everybody. So, some of the reasons why I brought it up is because it's everywhere. You're seeing it everywhere. First, it was a lot of taglines with Ozempic. That's when you saw Serena Williams and all these other celebrities who are now taking it and losing weight and that whole thing. Then I started to hear less of the word Ozempic and more of the word GLP. Well, what's that? So then I started to hear the word peptide. So at first I was saying to myself, all right, I'm looking at Serena Williams, and I'm just being honest. I'm looking at Serena Williams. She lost this weight, but it didn't look like, it looked a little weird. It just looked a little weird. It just looked a little not like when people I don't want to call it, not like Al Roker, like when he lost all the weight, or like Al Sharpton and their head looks big and their body looks little. Like Serena doesn't look like that, but just different. So I was like, wow, why is she doing that? Now, I automatically assumed it was because of the money. That was my assumption. I'm being honest. I'm not saying I'm correct, but that was my immediate association. Like, not she needed the money, but she was being paid to do it. So she's using it and, boom. Then when the GLP stuff started happening, I was like, well, let me look this up a little bit. So when I looked it up, I first saw something that stated that the GLP-1s had something to do with like people who were diabetic could use it. And I am paraphrasing and acknowledging that what I'm saying is not completely accurate. It's like me just doing a very shallow dive, if you will, on the GLP thing. So when I saw that, I dismissed it because I was like, oh my God, people are out here. Oh, and I saw that they were injectables. That was the other thing. So I'm like, oh my goodness, people are out here injecting medication that a diabetic normally would use in order to suppress their appetite and lose weight. Oh God, like I'm not doing that. Then people who either I know or people who were like maybe people I was following on Instagram who were influencers, or I don't even want to say influencers, like I was following them because they may be in a certain type of a business industry, or it was for a business purpose in terms of why I'm following them. Now they're talking about peptides, and they're showing that they're not only losing weight but like getting in shape. So I'm saying, well, what are peptides then? Is GLP the same thing as peptides? I don't know, right? And then I don't know if I want to be honest with y'all. But I'm gonna be honest. Most recently, I started to just do more research in the area of weight loss, period, because my husband and I are really focused on that right now. And this is like a good, bad problem to have, only because I think you guys might know those, Willie, you might not know this if you're still here. because this is your first time. But I have shared with my community that over the past, I'd say like past 2 months, I've been able to travel a lot with my husband. And that's like a first for us, to for me to be able to travel with him, and I'm helping and I'm getting paid too. Um we went to some new places, some nice places, and there was a lot of food involved. We're in a really good space in our marriage. Like everything it's really good, right? And so food food has, food has been a little tricky lately. Not to mention I am I'm over 40, and the body just operates a little different. It recovers differently. It makes noises differently. It feels different. Like there's a lot of stuff that's different, right? And so my husband and I were talking the other day. He brought up something, and somehow we got onto GLPs and peptides, and I was trying to tell him about them, and I was like, I really don't know about them. And so when I started looking them up again, that's when I was looking more at peptides, and I saw that it was talking about, or one of the articles I was looking at was talking about the fact that peptides, like GLP is one type of a peptide. There's all types of peptides, and some of them have been used, like athletes have been using them for years, certain peptides. Some peptides are helpful for inflammation. Some peptides are helpful for people who have maybe neurological issues or joint pains and stuff like that. Um, that caught my attention because a few years ago, I was told that I have fibromyalgia. If you don't know what it is, you could look it up. But basically, in a nutshell, it's a cute way of saying that you have really achy joints, and the cause is kind of unknown. So loss. It's not just about weight loss. So my perspective with that was, and I see you all's comments. I'm gonna get over here in 2 seconds. My perspective with that was, Carrie, you now need to get for real and do some research. You need to start doing some research, and you need to, in today's day, we're 2026. You have people who are focusing on biohacking and trying to increase. Remember, we talked about health span versus lifespan a couple of weeks ago, trying to improve their health span and their lifespan, but especially their health span. You're at the age where now you do need to understand perimenopause, menopause, premenopause, postmenopause, all the menopauses. You need to understand that. Hormone replacement therapy, hormones, period. Like you're just in a different stage. And if technology is moving at the pace that it's moving, then certainly the health and wellness space, the medical space, the telehealth space, the meta spas, but like all of these industries and niches are going to be moving at a faster pace as well. Now, you got to be careful, because obviously that also increases the likeliness of scammers, of people focusing more on the dollar than safety and all of that stuff. But at the same time, you don't want to not know about advancements purely because you think that it's something. And then I asked myself, I'm like, would I ever want a doctor who, sorry, my phone, would I ever want a doctor who doesn't keep up with research? In fact, that's why we got rid of one of my mom's doctors, because he had no clue about one of the books that I had asked him about regarding brain health and Alzheimer's. So would I ever want a doctor who's like, yeah, no, I stopped learning, I don't keep up with all this new stuff. I stopped doing that 20 years ago. No. So if I'm my own patient, then I got to keep up with what's going on as well. So I said, let me pull this stuff back and really just delve into this topic. So let me come over here and see what you all are talking about. Yes, Carrie, I'm a proud steroid and peptide user. I'm surprised they legalized peptides as such. Why? Okay, Brandon, why are you surprised that they legalized Maybe this was one I should have had people come up. Why are you surprised that they legalized peptides? I don't use them. It's a big subject at the gyms, though. I say stay natural. Some are helpful, but it gets dangerous when you don't know what you're doing for real or don't go to a reputable source. I've heard that. I've heard that. Yep. Fact, proof, evidence, truth is real. God, our creator, Adam, Torah, Bible in order, study, rap the news, YouTube, only God, only can save, unite, real Israel, American, not cult. Come on, somebody. Hey, Carrie, yes, 40 here. Miss Know It All. So you use the peptides? I mean, okay. And could you do me a favor? So let me go back. Brandon, what type of peptide do you use? Because I have these questions that I came up with. Tell me what kind, like, or maybe what do you use the peptide for? How about that? Miss Know It All. Same for you. What do you use? What do you use and what do you use it for? Because again, I'm starting to fix my language. It's not all about weight loss. One or a few of them I think I read are there's like GLP agonists or something like that, and then GLPs. Some are for weight loss, but others are for other reasons. Welcome to senior citizen realm. Ain't that the truth? Oh man. Okay, so Willie, the other day I told my husband, I'm going to the doctor for this, but I told my husband, I was like, I was like, when I swallow, when I'm eating and I swallow the food, like sometimes it feels like it's still not the food is still there, but it still feels like a little pressure is still there, like it's going down slow or something like that. I was trying to describe it to him. I'm not gonna belabor this show to describe my symptoms to y'all for that because I could talk about that for a whole long time. But the point was, as I was talking to my husband, he's like, "Oh, you're feeling like these sensations? Yeah, uh, it's called being 43." And I was like, "See, that's why, especially Black people, that's why we dismiss health too much." I really felt stuff, but I agree with you. The senior citizen realm is real. However, I'ma still do what I can do. Okay. I'm gonna just put yours up on the screen and then I'm gonna keep going because it's a lot up there. I don't want to read it wrong. Brandon said bodybuilders have been using these peptides for 20 years. Y'all late. You're well, okay, and one of the articles that I read said that some peptides are hormones, a type of hormone. Don't get me to lying. Fibromyalgia equals diet. Easy. I believe, Brandon, that fibromyalgia is heavily connected to the inflammation that's in our body. And I believe that the inflammation in our body is highly connected to what we put in our body. So I would have to say that I definitely think that there is, what would you say? Is that the word causation there or something? So I agree with you. It's not easy. It's not easy. It's simple, but it's not easy because um sometimes it's really hard to figure out what foods or like what parts of foods are like causing the response. And then it is hard because some of the foods that I think are triggering me are things that I really like garlic. And I'm not talking about like cookies. I'm saying like garlic or onions, or because I was advised to try a low FODMAP diet, and a lot of the things that I like garlic, onions, I think beans, I think Brussels sprouts, tomatoes. Not that I like tomatoes by themselves, but I like salsa and spaghetti sauce. Like those types of things you technically shouldn't have. So it's a little tough. It's a little tough. But I do not subscribe to the idea that um it's unknown, and therefore that I don't subscribe to the idea that there is no way to address it. Let's say that. When I was diagnosed with it, the doctor basically wrote me a prescription and said, here's your pain medication. I never filled it because there's no end in mind. It's kind of like this is it. This is all that can help me. So, yeah, I hear you. I hear you. Other Matt Laura, hey, Matt Lauer, sorry. My main concern is people using these GLPs for the wrong reasons. It was supposed to be for blood sugar. Now it's a cure all for obesity and depression. The list seems to go on. So that's a part of what I was covering in some of what I researched. And hopefully if I could pull it up, we can go over some of that. But that was my question initially, was what's the original purpose for these GLP-1s, and then what's the end game? Like what's the goal here? And then if I am overweight, if you have one person who is over no, I'm sorry, if you have two people who are overweight, and let's say all things are equal, whatever their health situations are, let's assume it's all equal. If you have one of those overweight people take the GLP-1 and the other one doesn't, but they both eat, they change what they're eating, and they start, physical activities, working out, all of that stuff. Does the person who was taking the GLP, do they have an advantage that the other person cannot have? Will they end up doing the same thing? And then I was like, what if you take the person who's taking the GLP, but they keep eating the same? Now, my understanding is the GLP-1 helps to suppress your appetite. So let's say that person doesn't keep eating the same amount of food, but they're still eating the same type of food, and they're not doing any physical activity. And then you have this other person, the overweight person, who they start eating right and they start working out. Will you notice something different with the person who's just taking the GLP? And so I'm just trying to kind of play in my head the role of GLP. And if it's one of those things where it's like, hey, your body normally makes peptides, which my understanding is it does. It makes certain peptides. Is it kind of like how eventually your body stops making like collagen, and so if you want more collagen you gotta like supplement it? Or is it that this is extra? So I was starting to ask those types of questions as well. It can get real deep because one of the Facebook groups that I'm in, somebody was asking about stopping GLP. She was doing GLP, she stopped, and she was like, has anybody experienced gaining their weight back? She said, because I gained my weight back and my appetite was like crazy when I got off. Now, a bunch of people in the comments could relate. Some people said I gained back maybe about 4 or 5 pounds of the 20 plus I lost. Some people said they gained back all of it. Some people said half. A couple of people said I didn't gain back anything, but I also didn't go back to what I was eating. And then a couple of people said I'm never getting off. And that too was like, whoo, okay, so is this a forever thing, where you only get the true results if you stay on it? A lot to think about. Um so yeah. As a bartender, I see a few of my customers not changing their eating and drinking habits while on these, and they don't look great. Yeah, I just kind of mentioned that with the example. And I wonder if that's kind of the same thing, with people who get the stomach surgery, like there's a couple of them, but y'all know what I'm talking about. Like when you get your stomach tied, or the bariatric surgery, some people still keep eating the same way. And some people some people really do use these types of things, I guess, to kind of get a fresh start, and they take advantage of it in the right way. And then I guess other people, to your point, Matt, are doing it for the wrong reasons and kind of looking for that miracle magic type of a solution. And they don't stop the lifestyle that probably got them in the situation in the first place. Which again, for me, being that I do have some weight to lose, um, is why I'm really skeptical, because I believe that if I want to get the weight off, I got to do the opposite of what I did to get the weight on. It's going it's going to be one of them commercials going around in a few years. Have you or your loved ones suffer from using GLPs? Okay, so king size, you think that people are going to be surprised at some of these long-term effects. I will say that some of what I've come across has shown that a lot of things are still being researched. So it seems like it's not that. Well, I'll pull it up. I'll pull up the article because I have one of these FDA articles. I'm not surprised. These are legal money. My son said the best way to absorb the peptides is via injection. That's the other thing. Because one of my friends, her and her husband are doing it. That's another thing that brought me to, like, give to consider researching it more, because I know them, I trust them, and they're being very, I believe, objective in their feedback. But they film injecting their stomach. Ugh, that alone makes me be like, my stomach. Oh, I don't know. I don't know. Carrie, because peptides are performance enhancing drugs, they weren't all that legal they weren't all that legal years ago. Well, so are you saying that the steroids were also but earlier you said peptides and steroids. Okay. And I could see where they were not all accepted, because I think I read that the first one for weight loss was approved like in 2004 or 5 or something like that. So I could see that. Peptides are good for shredded looks. Every bodybuilder uses them. Do they inject them, Brandon? Because I also saw that there now are non-peptide GLPs that are oral for weight loss. Some of them are on the banned substance list for NBA, NFL players. Yes, and be careful, it will go down the wrong tube. I have used it for weight loss when I had a hard body transition from nursing, and it was related to my hormones. So, Miss Know It All, are you still doing it, or you only did it for a certain period of time? I'm very curious about that, if you don't mind sharing. This is all if you guys are willing to share. Like, I had planned to, like, go through notes and pull up stuff, but I kind of like us just talking this out. I'll pull up any information if I need to, but I'm kind of cool with y'all's questions and me talking to y'all too. Carrie, yes, all of my information is backed by peer-reviewed studies and clinical data. I can provide the sources. I'm just cooking collards, so I can't link them. You cooking collard greens with smoked turkey? How you season your greens? Yeah, tell me, Brandon, send me the links. I'm curious of which ones you're taking. I'm very curious. Pancreatic cancer is the end game if you don't need GLP-1s. Pancreatic cancer is the end game if you don't need it. Okay, so what do you mean by that? Hold on. Pancreatic, let's see. Pancreatic cancer and GLP-1. Okay, so what is ASCO publications? Would that be considered a good source? Let's see. Oh, yes, it is. Journal of Clinical Oncology. So, dag, I gotta ask Anton how he does this. I don't know how to like put this stuff on my screen, y'all. Let me see if I do. Let me see something. See, I appreciate y'all. Y'all rocking with me on this. Let's see if I can share my screen and pull up. I guess it would be this. Can y'all see that? If I zoom in. Wait, that's not what I was trying to pull up. That wasn't it. I'm trying to pull up this one. Let's see. Sorry, y'all. I'm just, I'm trying to like be more diverse. Let's see. Oh, here we go. Okay. Can you see that though? I'm not going to read the whole thing, but let me put the comments back on the screen so I can see y'all. Okay. What's it say? GLP. I feel like that's really not big. Okay. GLP-1 receptor agonist and pancreatic cancer risk, a meta-analysis of real-world and trial evidence. Is there a conclusion? Okay. To our knowledge, this is one of the first pooled synthesis of hazard ratio. Okay, ratios showing that GLP-1RA therapy is not linked to increased pancreatic cancer risk and instead correlates with a significant reduction, particularly in obese and smoking populations. By integrating large real-world data sets with trial evidence, this analysis reframes GLP-1RAs from a potential liability to a therapy with possible risk modifying effects on pancreatic carcinogenesis. Carcinogenesis. Oh my God, Carrie. Further research in GI cancer prevention and survivorship is warranted. So I guess on one hand, they haven't necessarily made that connection. I mean, this is only one, strand. And clearly the jury's still out because they need to do further research, which is what I was trying to say earlier. Like, what I am finding is that there's a lot of research that's been done on peptides. And then there's obviously research that has been done on some of these GLPs because the FDA has approved some. And I know some people are like, so what? If they approve it, that don't mean nothing. I get it. Some people have their views on that. But it still seems like there is more research that needs to be done on a lot of them. So dramatic diet change is supposed to go hand in hand with these. Okay, so it is expected that you are to do this and change, obviously, your ways. But that's what I'm saying. I'm wondering if you were to just do that with no GLPs, are you missing out on something by not having these peptides replenished? Carrie, peptides equal weight loss on steroids because they are kind of. Okay. The GLPs for weight loss are supposed to mimic the effects of someone who has weight loss surgery. Oh, okay. So one of my friends, she posted this. I should have asked her. It was last minute. I was gonna ask her to come and share her like how it's been going for her and her husband so far. I'll ask them to come on though. They will. And it'll get well, some of y'all already know way more about this than me. But she said, okay, so her post was, below are my results for my GLP. All right. She said, I have different goals and higher expectations for the peptides. This Wednesday will be my third injection. And according to my treatment plan, I'm supposed to increase my dose. The thing is, I'm not sure I want to just because it's on the schedule. So far, I've noticed I'm eating much smaller portions, about 2 solid meals a day. I'm not snacking between meals. I'm walking about 5 miles a day, which I usually do just two, if that. I'm going to bed earlier, which is saying a lot because I've always been a night owl. And the biggest surprise, I'm executing. I'm doing the things I've been putting off instead of constantly telling myself I'll do it tomorrow. She said, since my treatment includes terzepatide along with NAD plus and B12, I can't say exactly which ingredient is responsible for what. It may be one or it may be the combination. So she said, since I'm already seeing these benefits, I'm scheduling an appointment with my LVRX doctor before increasing my dose because I want to understand why I would need to move up if the current dose seems to be working. So when I saw some of the things that she was taking note of, like I'm eating smaller portions, I'm not snacking between meals, I'm like, well, those are things that you can do on your own, but maybe people would choose this because it would assist them in doing it. And then when she said she's walking about 5 miles instead of the two, that's when I started being like, okay, well, what would cause that? Like, is that a mental thing where maybe because you didn't eat as much? No, I'm sorry, a mental thing because maybe you're telling yourself, I can do more. Or is it like an energy thing where because you're not eating as much, you're not feeling as lethargic, so you have more energy? I don't know. And then the other thing, when she said that she's executing more, I was like, and I'm a night owl as well. So when she said she's going to sleep earlier and she's executing more, that caught me because I'm like, is she just happening to decide to go to sleep earlier or is she getting tired sooner? Like, and again, this is a friend, so I I trust that this is what she's experiencing. At the same time, I'm trying to see where the correlation would be with the actual GLP. You see what I'm saying? So please listen to me. I'm listening. Do me a favor, whatever stuff you do feel strongly about, though, in all seriousness, if you could send me the link for it, like for real, I would appreciate it. Because that was also one of the other things that I wanted to talk about is like figuring out what are reliable sources. Hey, Onyx Black Flower. Hello. Hello. You are supposed to develop the healthy habits while on it so that once you are done, you can maintain it. I gotcha. And I guess, okay, so I'm guessing that with that said, having something that can help to take your cravings away and help you to feel full faster at least gives you a head start on being able to change your habits. Tummy tuck. Hello from Charlotte. Hey, Terry Ruff. How you doing? I was diagnosed with alcoholic hepatitis almost 4 years ago. Massive damage to my liver from drinking. I was over 200 pounds. I stopped drinking and was assigned a nutritionist. Now I'm 145. Well, first of all, congratulations. First of all, thank you for sharing. Second of all, congratulations on stopping the drinking, on going and getting help and stopping the drinking and losing the weight. Kudos to you. And I hear you. I hear you. I'm making sure that I tell myself learn these things, but don't certain things just work. And if you're eating wrong and you start eating right, it works. If you're not moving and you start moving, it works. So don't lose the fundamentals, but also be willing to open up your mind and learn. So that's where I'm coming from with this. And y'all already know, like I got my scriptures. I got my scriptures. Proverbs 14:15 says, the naive believes everything, but the sensible person considers his steps. So I'm I ain't being naive. I'm considering my steps. Hey, Gerard, how are you doing? Oh, well, I'm sorry. That was to the chat. This one was to me. How you doing, sir? Because of my drinking, I have also damaged my gallbladder and pancreas. Whew. May God continue to heal you and cover you. The conversation was brought up for GLP-1 to control my blood sugar. Oh, yes. Okay. After the huge drop from not drinking alcohol. Oh, so that's interesting. And what, if you don't mind sharing, Matt, who decided against it? Because it sounds like you didn't do it. So who decided against it? Was that your choice, or did, the conversation was brought up and then after further discovery, like your care team was like, nah, not a good way for you to go? Maybe I need to figure out some topics that I'll know in advance that people might be interested in, and we can kind of come up and have a powwow. Ms. Know It All only did it for a few months, but the first 3 months after stopping is the hardest transition off. I can see how people are addicted to it. I gotcha. How about this? Let's ask this question. Um, what are, how do I ask this? I guess what I'm trying to ask is like, what is the long-term plan? Is GLP-1 a ever drug? Okay, so let me go to see, like, this is from Great Health Partners. Like, who, anybody can create a website. So I don't know. Research shows GLP-1 receptor are effective but come with complex concerns. Let's see if I could do this one. Uh, research. I wish it wasn't so big on my screen, y'all. I don't know how to not show so much of the screen. It doesn't look like y'all could see. Wait, let me see. I don't know. Okay. Well, I just wanted to see what rise. These drugs are extremely effective for blood glucose control and weight management. Combined with their relatively limited side effect profile. However, off-label use fueled by celebrities and social media is a growing concern. And when physicians are prescribing GLP-1 RAs for their intended use, it's not a magic formula. Yeah, but I wanted to see if they talked about not a silver bullet coming off. Rethinking long-term weight management strategies to overcome cost barriers. Yet another dimension affecting the use of GLP-1s is cost. Okay. I might be overlooking subject. I was trying to see what it was saying about the long term. Oh wait. Now this one is called Grand Health Partners. I don't know who they are though. It depends on your goals, your health history, how your body responds. For many, GLP-1 medications can be part of a long-term medical plan. For others, medication is a bridge to more durable solutions. Um, how long do you take it? For many patients, often long-term or indefinite if used as your primary weight loss treatment. Do you have to stay on GLP forever? Let me do this one. No, you don't necessarily have to stay on GLP medications forever, but here's the crucial piece. Most people who stop the medication without a long-term plan regain some or all of their weight. This is because GLP-1s support weight loss by changing hunger and fullness signals. When the medication stops, those signals typically return to baseline. Without support from dietitians, behaviorists, exercise specialists, or a more durable intervention, weight regain is common. This is why we emphasize whole person care with nutrition, behavior coaching, and long term follow up, whether a patient chooses medication, surgery, or both. If you stop GLP-1 medications like tirzepatide, research shows several common outcomes. Appetite increases, calories consumed gradually rise, weight regains within weeks to months, blood sugar improvements may diminish. This is not a sign of failure, it's simply biology. In fact, many patients share concerns about plateauing or regaining weight after stopping medications. These worries are common among individuals looking for clear guidance, realistic expectations, and long-term solutions. Yeah, see, and I think that that's another reason why for me, I'm thinking this through as I'm learning about this, but I I just want to get it right so that my weight can be under control, I just want to focus on the healthy habits. And I get this. I get it. I do. I get it, but it's still coming off just the GLP portion. I'm not talking about the other peptides. The GLP portion is still kind of coming off as a way to like clear your slate, which I'm not mad at, but I don't know, y'all. I don't know if I would be the one if you gave me this much help. I don't know if I would be the one to be like, all right, now that I did it, I'm gonna switch everything. Like, I feel like I would have to prove to myself that I've switched those habits up front. Now, maybe if you switch the habits first, then you add the GLP in after the habits have switched so you know they're real, then you get the slate clean, drop the weight, and then you get off the GLP, but the habits are there. Like that makes a little bit more sense to me. But I'm thinking this through as I'm going through it. As someone on GLPs, I'm just here to see all the misinformation. Jen, why do you think it's misinformation? Oh, because people are sharing their perspectives. Well, please feel free, Jen, if you want to share something that you feel needs to be shared because misinformation is happening up here or whatever. Let me know. Like I said, send me the link. Um, but yeah, the goal here is to talk about it. The goal here for me is to talk about it and to research. I'm going send me to sources. That's what I'm looking at. Send me to sources. As long as you're getting regular blood work done and eating the right stuff, you should be good, Jen. Jen, same here. There are way too many to even start. Sunshine, there's already misinformation. Y'all got to enlighten. Like, so don't be that person either, okay? And I didn't get down to the bottom comments yet. So forgive me if anybody who um has shared misconceptions that I didn't get to. But please also don't be the person who is like, people are going to have negative things to say, or they're going to be saying the wrong things and assume that everybody is like that, because I know they exist. Trust me, I hear you, I got you, I understand. I almost fell into that bucket up front, and then I recognized I was ignorant and didn't even know enough about it to be so dismissive, which is why I told my story. You might have gotten here late, Sunshine, which was why I told the story of how I even came to wanting to know more about this at this point, right? So there are some of us who are genuinely like, yes, I want your testimony because that matters too, but I also want data and information that I can trust so I can make a sound, a sound decision. So please know that this is a space where you can share that data, okay? Hey, Junior Largy, how you doing? How you doing? I'm good. This topic always gets a bad rep. I used it to lose weight and I did 120 pounds. Congratulations. So, Jen, are you still using it or did you use it for a time and then you got off of it? If you don't mind sharing, are you still using it or did you get off of it and like you just maintained the lifestyle that you had? And I'm assuming when we say the lifestyle, we're talking about what? Eating right? We're talking about working out. I don't know if we're talking I did read something that said that I think protein was really important. That's important for me anyway, being over 40, but protein was really important because people who were on the GLPs um sometimes were losing their fat and their muscle. So they needed to make sure that they were overcompensating for the muscle component. But yeah, let us know. I'm not here to spread misinfo, just my personal experience with my liver and blood sugar stuff. And that's fair. That is fair. We listen, guys, there's no one way. And I think it's important for everybody to be able to have the space to have their story. And certain things might work for certain people. When I was researching Alzheimer's disease, some of you already know my mom has it. Like it's near and dear to me, the topic. But one of the things that this doctor, Dr. Dale Bredesen, speaks about, and I love his research and everything. He's a firm believer. Side note, I got to put this plug in. He's a firm believer that Alzheimer's should not be as big of a chronic illness as it is. He believes that it should be a very small population who suffer and, succumb to Alzheimer's. And there's tons of research that he as well as others have to back that. But the point is one of the things he said is that for a long time, Alzheimer's disease was approached with this silver bullet type of a solution. Let me give you a pill, and that's what's supposed to make everything go away, which is why that didn't work. And that's the case for a lot of chronic illnesses. He calls it a buckshot approach. I had to look up a buckshot because I didn't understand the difference. Now I do. Silver bullet, one shot, boom. Buckshot, apparently you shoot it and it's like a bunch of different shots. And the point is that in order for you to address, in this case, brain health, you had to look at multiple components. He said, imagine that that you have a house with like 36 holes in the roof. So you got to patch up every single hole individually. He said it's kind of the same way when they look at the brain. They have to look at all these different components, and there might be 8 different areas that you have to deal with in order to patch up that roof. And your roof might look different than somebody else's. And so I say all that to say that I'm even, now that I am, delving into this deeper, and I know that this is not just a celebrity, quick fix magic drug. I know some people could use it like that. But now that I know that there is more to the picture than that, then even with people's experiences with it, is different stories. And there might be different reasons for why somebody really, really could and should benefit from using it versus somebody who shouldn't. And for Matt, it sounded like either he or his team or both of them came to the conclusion that this is not what's necessary for your roof. Whereas for you, Jen, that might have been a part of what was necessary for your roof. And both of those things matter. Okay. Jen said, okay, to Matt. And mine was entirely alcohol related. I was a heavy drinker for almost 20 years. Again, I say congratulations to kicking that habit or that addiction. Also crap diet, but mostly the booze. Matt, did the GLP help with the drinking or did you stop before starting? I think Matt's answering that. Well, y'all probably saw his answer already. I didn't see it yet. Okay. So, Sunshine, your friend does not need to go up. Oh, okay. You're talking about my friend. Okay. So, your friend does not need to go up, titrate, unless she is no longer losing weight or the food noise comes back. The titration schedule was due to the Eli Lilly study that was done. It's just a guide. Okay. So, that's good to know. Hold on. And yeah, that was kind of her perspective, Sunshine. She was like, if everything is kind of going how I think it should be going, then why would I need to make the increase? And I think that that's important to note too, because sometimes I think that we do get so locked in. Let me take this off right there. Sometimes I think we get so locked in to um like a standard that was created that we forget to check in with ourselves. So even with like the weight charts and if you're 5'6", you should be this weight. If you're this and you're that, and it's like, yeah, but you got to take into account other things too. Also, you got to tap into your own body. So I'm glad that she was like, hold on, before I just go up this just to up it, let me talk to my doctor because I'm thinking that I don't need to do that yet. So but thank you for sharing that, Sunshine. I pulled up the titration schedule for Eli Lilly, and so it says medications for Zepbound and Monjaro. So I will be sure to check this out, and anybody else who's interested, you should check it out as well. Again, I'm just trying to understand all this stuff. Matt said I was advised against GLP. Okay, so your actual healthcare team was like, we should consider it. They considered it, and then they came to the conclusion that you should not use it. All right, Brandon. I don't think Americans are educated. Sorry, y'all. I don't want to drink like in the. Okay, Brandon. I don't think Americans are educated enough to mess with steroids, peptides, what are SARMs, or any types of agonists. These are going to get dangerous. Oh, I'm sorry. Things are going to get dangerous. Watch, in about 5 years, people are going to be messed up. All right, real quick, Brandon, because okay, y'all, my tabs are getting crazy over here. I got a lot of tabs up. Hold on, let me close some things up. First of all, what are SARMs? Because I don't know. Okay, so SARMs, or selective and androgen. I'm smart, y'all. SARMs, or selective androgen receptor modulators, are lab made chemical compounds that target muscle and bone tissue. They act like testosterone and anabolic steroids to help build muscle, but no SARM is approved for human use by health groups like the US FDA. Well, who are they approved for then? Are those illegal, Brandon? Maybe you're just bunching it all together. That sounds a little dangerous. I don't know. I mean, I'm just Googling it. But I can 100% agree with you because I kind of feel the same way about marijuana. Like, I feel like and now I get why you originally said you're surprised that they legalized it all. I kind of get what you're saying because you are obviously going to have the people who are going to either buy it or like get it from a not qualified place that's not, like up to whatever the FDA standard or whatever the standard is. Um then you might have people who use too much because either they're being impatient or they see results and want better results. Like I do see where it can be dangerous, but I think, well, I'm hoping that I can at least be contributing my little space to encourage anybody who is not clear on what it is to, at the very least, understand it. Even if they decide they want to use it, understand it enough so that you know where to go and get it. Like, I would think that this is something that you will go through with your physician, right? But like my friends that the two friends that I was talking about, the one whose post I've read to y'all, she buys them through the health company. She's in network marketing. She buys them through the health company that she works with. Now, on one hand, that makes me pause a little bit. But on the other hand, I also recognize that healthcare is changing. Like the traditional way of you go to your primary care physician through the insurance company, you go through regular insurance and all of that stuff. Like things are changing. You can now go get separate plans from different places. You even with insurance, your insurance covers different things in today's day than it used to back in the day. So you can get your own blood panels done now. You can get, vitamin drips. You can get vitamin injections. So I'm also not naive to the fact that you can go to these med spas and all these things where there are actual physicians that are working there that are qualified. But I also know that that means that there could be places that they set up that they're not qualified. So I could see where it could be a dangerous space. So I hope people just do the due diligence. Do the due diligence. Real quick, let me hop over here. Cap and Caveman, thank you so much for the super chat. Good to see you still pushing. Don't give up. You'll get the thank you. I'm like the little engine that could. I'm trying. Thank you so much. I appreciate that, Cap and Caveman. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Um, let's see. By three doctors, Jen, the drug could be causing her fatigue. Okay. So she gets sleepy earlier. Okay. Thank you. Matt Lar, two from You Are Medicine and one from Strong Memorial. Both are kind of a big deal. Okay. For me, the GLP was harder to work out with. I slept a lot, hardly ate anything, and had no desire to. I was on the lowest dose. Okay. All right. So again, it sounds like Miss Know It All that, and you probably answered this at some point. So forgive me, but it sounds like you were on it for a period of time, then you stopped because I see you keep saying was. So when you got off, how was it? I know you said you maintained the food. But how was the workout? Since you're mentioning that it was harder to work out with, and was it harder because of your energy, or was it harder because like weightlifting was like, what do you mean by harder to work out, if you don't mind? You have the right questions. I think we like things too easily, so we turn to medication. We are in a treatment society. There's no, you can't sugarcoat that. The good thing is that I think that a lot of us don't want to be. A lot of us, I genuinely think we don't want to be so treatment mode. I think that many of us, if you're my age, I don't know what my age range is of the community here just yet, but I know that a lot of you so far who have shared your age, you're around my age or a little younger or a little older, which means that like your parents are probably baby boomers like my parents. And I know for me, um I'm dealing with their health. Like that's what my sisters and I deal with as it relates to my parents. We're dealing with the result of their lifestyle decisions. And then at the age of 43, you're also starting to get out of, you're not 20 anymore where it's like I feel nothing, like there's nothing to consider. I'm good to go. you're at the age where you too are starting to like experience things differently and get the reality check that whole I could just do whatever I want and worry about it later mentality is a no-go. And so now, and many of us have children and grandchildren, so our concerns are different. So I have to believe that in general, a lot of us really do want to get this thing right. You know, we fail at it. Yeah, a lot of us got some addictions and habits to kick, but in general, I do think we want to get it right. But we're vulnerable. We're vulnerable to these companies who can easily dangle a carrot like, hey, just, just do this and it'll go a little quicker. I'm just saying, we are a little vulnerable to it. All facts, Brandon says. That's why the weekly challenges you do are great. Forces us to get better without the meds. I do want to get back to doing those challenges. I'm gonna get back to doing those challenges. Let me make note of that. Challenges. All right, what we got? Yes, you are spot on. The idea is to get you to operate as a person who is in the healthy BMI range, develop the habits, then keep them. I like that. I like that. I like that. You should go watch some of the videos from Dr. Pat Taylor. Hold on. Dr. I hope y'all know when I write down this stuff, like I really go and check it out. His company is Live Vital and is doctor of obesity and menopausal health. Okay, he is the chief medical officer for Join Bell and Live Vital. Did I say Live Vital? Jesus, Live Vital. I'm sorry. Thank you, Sunshine. Brandon, America don't need to be messing with these drugs. Brandon ain't feeling it. Brandon is not feeling it. Brandon is like, listen, y'all do not need to be over here. Okay. Y'all saw all types of bodybuilders dying from abusing them. These drugs are too easy to abuse because they work extraordinarily well. Ooh, okay. I could see that. I could see that. I could. Especially so those of you who have been on it, what side effects have you experienced? The ones that I've read about, and obviously side effects could be different for different people, but the ones that I read about, let me not make it up. I know it was like nausea. What are reported side effects? Were nausea, vomiting, constipation, diarrhea, uh, nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, constipation, and there was something else: stomach discomfort, mild headache, dizziness, fatigue, decreased thirst leading to dehydration, and then obviously injection site reactions, which I could see. And then it says less common serious risks, gallbladder issues, pancreatitis, kidney injury, low blood sugar, body composition changes. But I'm sure even with those serious ones, you need context. But I'm curious if you guys have had any noticeable side effects. It blocks your cravings, makes you sick when you indulge, like a punishment, and reduces your calorie intake. Oh, okay. Miss Know It All, it sounds like you sound like a bodybuilder. Do you compete? You aren't supposed to transition off. Only a small percent of individuals ever go off of it. Oh, okay. I don't know if I could do that for like the ever. GLPs are meant to be on for a lifetime. It's a treatment, not a cure. Yeah, but isn't treatment meant to eventually end? Unless you're being treated and you succumb to what you're being treated for, or like, I don't know. I'm gonna keep diving into this. Y'all. Treatment for obesity and overweight. Where's Enrique? What would AI say? You listen. I got Enrique helped me to get a lot of my stuff together. When I was trying to like put together a whole like thing. And then I just said, I can't, it's too scientific for me to, yeah. And since you guys are so knowledgeable of the space from different angles, I think for a preliminary conversation, it's cool for us to just chat. However, Enrique definitely had some opinions on it. At no point did he say don't use it. But he did give me insight into GLPs. He broke down peptides for me. Um, he broke down the different types of GLPs, the GLP-1s, the agonists, and all of that stuff. And then keep in mind, Enrique knows my health goals. And so he also gave me feedback based off of my health goals. So yeah, Matt, my doctors all advised against it. In combo with my nutritionist, I was making enough progress with my diet to improve liver function that GLPs would have almost set me back. I got it. It's all on point. I needed to eat very clean food, extremely high protein, almost no fat in order to regain liver function. The rest of the organs followed suit, sorta. GLPs would have suppressed my appetite, making it more difficult to get the nutrients my body's required to recoup. See, but that makes sense. That makes sense. And hopefully Sunshine and Jen hear you out like you heard them out, because that sounds reasonable to me, that if a part of your healing, Matt, was you needed to get these foods and you needed these nutrients, not to say you can't eat them with GLP, but you didn't need the limitation of the appetite. You just needed to be changing what you were putting in your body. And according to you, primarily that was liquor. It's been a very interesting last 3 years and 8 months. Brandon, no, not at all. I'm trying to start lean muscle building, though I'm still addicted to the scale. There you go. That is correct information. Grand Health Partners gave you great info. Listen, I'm your research girl. I will go look at all data, okay? You want to take a GLP-1? Not necessarily, no. I just wanted to understand. I really, if I were to be interested in a peptide to take right at this moment, I would probably be more interested in the peptides that have been given to people for the joint issue. I might not even be doing it right by saying the joint issue. It might be more specific, but that's the one that really intrigued me. It just so happens that I need to lose weight. But that's the peptide I'm really interested in. But no, I don't think I could get past that the injection. I think if this were like a liquid or a pill, I might be a little bit more easily, but I can't see me stabbing my stomach every week forever. Well, definitely not forever, but I don't know. I switched my habits and was still gaining weight because of menopause and a broken metabolic health. Okay. And so again, that was why I said, Carrie, pay attention, because even though I'm in the process of getting my act together and, losing weight at 43 ain't like getting back from not working out when I was 25. I could not work out for months and it wasn't like I'd gain a bunch of weight. You just might get a little bit soft. So I could easily put on P90X or go to the gym and it was nothing. It's like I'm back in it. I don't have to like start small. I don't have to start on the moderate level, but now. And so I understand that some of it is, listen, you might have the weight you got to, account for, but some could be contributed from being an older woman, I don't know. So I hear you, Sunshine. It gets crazy because everyone wants to compare it to what celebrities are doing. I don't like that. I agree with you. I agree with you. And I'm glad that I challenged my own thoughts. Like, you know what? I know you saw Serena, but so what? And not for nothing, Serena, she had, I didn't, I also had to not throw her to the side so much, because one of the things that I did appreciate about Serena was when she was pregnant, one of her pregnancies happened around the time when I was about right before I got pregnant or right after or during or something like that. But I read her story where she had to advocate for herself when she was having her child because she she had a history, I think, of blood clots. I believe it was blood clots, and she knew something was wrong and they were trying to like minimize it, and she was like, "No, I know what's happening in my body. Like y'all need to take me in the I think she had to get like surgery or something like that." But she knew what she needed. And so for me, like she gained points with me because I am an advocate of people advocating for themselves as it relates to their body, like being in tune, being in touch, and not letting anybody tell you what you're experiencing. So I'm not saying that she's an angel. I don't know her from Adam. And I'm not saying that she didn't do GLP because she got a big check. I don't know. But I also had to be like, you could still she might still be on the type of thing where to the best of her ability she did her research and she feels like this is safe. So don't just assume that she's a celebrity, she's putting her name on something for a check. You get what I'm saying? So I had to challenge my own thinking. Doctor gave me 3 months to live if I didn't change my habits. Ooh, I was 36. That was enough to hear to change everything. Just turned 40. Happy birthday. Happy belated birthday. In the beginning of July. So I'm doing something right. That's a fact. Good job. God is good. Carter Krankenstein. I've been knowing about peptides for about 5 years now, way before this newfound popularity. Okay. I have used many of them, including GLPs. I am also a proponent of hormone replacement and anabolic use. You are the second one, Carter, who said anabolic use. I'm going to look that up because I don't know what that is. Hormone replacement. Men do hormone replacement therapy too? I'm ignorant, y'all. I'm just learning about HRT for women, about 2 years ago. So I didn't know. I think I just assumed that was for women, but I guess you guys might need it too because I would have you all stop producing testosterone at the same pace, don't you? Right? So okay, all right. I'm nobody's answering me. I'm answering myself. Like, why am I asking myself and the answer? And the celebs that are on it look weird now. Haha. Carter, me too. I've been on gear for 5 years. Okay, see, Brandon, you naming brands, Brandon, but you didn't name them to us because Carter's talking your language. You only gonna talk to Carter. I see what you're doing. I see it. Carrie, I think the way you would approach it would be great. For others, though, excuse me, they may be morbidly obese where they need the GLPs first to develop the healthy habit. I understand. I understand what you're saying. And I could see that. I could see that. And again, I guess at the end of the day, it's like we're all different. We have similarities, but we're all different. But I can see what you're saying. I'm still on it. I'm in maintenance for over a year now. Okay, so is the difference between like active and maintenance, is it the amount that's in the actual dosage or is it the frequency of the dosage? So are you based, and I'm only going off of what my friend says she's doing. They're taking it weekly. So is that typical? You take it weekly, or does maintenance mean like you do it monthly? Jen says I started at 252, now I'm 130. Whoo, 130. Okay, and so that helps you to maintain. Wow. That's big. Over the course of how much time, Jen? All right, with my experience, Carter says, with my experience, I will always recommend for folks to do thorough research to know what they're getting themselves into and understanding the mechanisms and how they work to be used properly. Yeah, because it sounds like, especially you and Brandon, it sounds like y'all for real, at the very least, y'all know the terminology. Okay, hold on. Let me come over here real quick. Hey, messy conservative. So certain peptides are okay. TRT and trizepatides. Is that the one? Is that one of the ones that I said my friend said she was doing? TRT. Let's see. TRT and trizepatides. Okay, now, and are those peptides all for weight loss, or are for or Jesus, or are they for other things? Thank you for the support, the messy conservative. Let's see. Um, three. Where am I? Oh, I got a whole bunch of comments. I might not be able to get to everybody's comments, but let me see. Let me see if I can catch a few more because it's 8:40. I don't want to keep y'all here all night. Um, we got to get peptides. Hey, A Dub, how you doing, sir? How you doing? Bum 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 bum. SARM supposed to build muscle, GLP peptides. People use a lot of things that's not FDA approved. No, that's true. This is so true. I mean, a lot of the supplements that when I go to um Sprouts, a bunch of those are not FDA approved. So that's why I said, I know that saying FDA approved means something to some people, means something to other people. Like, I recognize that. And void of FDA approval does not necessarily mean something is unsafe. And having the FDA approval does not necessarily mean that something is good for you to take. So I hear you. I hear you, Captain Caveman. Let's see if you get peptides from non-qualified sources. Hey, care. I'm teaching my in-person healthcare provider about the GLP. You're teaching your healthcare provider? Oh, well, okay. I mean, look, she got a lot, but why won't she go? I mean, not that you're not. Are you a doc? I'm not trying to disqualify you, Sunshine. And I think that's good that she's open. I'm just wondering, I wonder why she won't go learn too. From whatever, you get it, hopefully. For years, we had to get peptides and other drugs underground. Now, somehow they are legal. No medications I've tried works for me. So, Ryan, I guess you're not doing the GLP. Somebody asked, did you try the GLP? Ryan says no. Agency headquarters, that's a fact. Once you turn 40, you feel it. That is true. Um, Literally was the only thing that worked for me. Nothing else works, says Sunshine. I can show you how to get all of these peptides and drugs right now. You can even make them with the powder packs and grapes. Oh, Brandon, see it Brandon, you make the peptides, Brandon. See, it's always somebody. It's always somebody who gonna do it at home. And I don't know, Brandon. I don't know. I take risperidone and it just makes me sleepy all the time, making it hard to function in the daytime. I have seen how people get them and reconstitute them. I'm not interested in them. I get mine from a 503A compounding pharmacy. I like to know exactly what I'm injecting. I know that's right. Literally peptides come from China, India, and Russia. I buy from them. I only had one package seized by the Brandon, I ain't messing with you. I am not messing with you. Okay, I'm gonna let y'all go back and forth on that. Whoever said GLPs are meant to be used for a lifetime, this is false. These compounds are simply tools to be used alongside of lifestyle alterations. You need to develop the long-term lifestyle habits. See, and that's the little bit for me, Carter, that I keep like, I ain't trying to be lazy. I'm not calling anybody who does it lazy. I'm not. I'm speaking about Carrie personally, right? And I know that the biggest reason that my body does not feel and look how I want it to is because of the decisions I'm making. You feel me? So I am kind of like, I just gotta do what I need to do. But at the same time, like, that's why I wanted to learn about it, because, for instance, I can do what I need to do, but I got my blood work done and my vitamin B was low, or like my ferritin was low. So, you know, I had to do a iron supplement, or so I also didn't want to ignore peptides, GLPs, as if it's something that like I need as a compliment, or it's like it's good to have, or if it's like it's a cheat code. You see? So Spencer Ramsey said, "Don't do it, Carrie." Don't do it. This is not false. If you look up the research, you will see that the clinical trials go against what you are saying. See, clinical, okay. And I'm gonna let y'all go soon. Thank you for y'all, those who are still here with me. I appreciate y'all. So, clinical trials are interesting because when I used to work with, I did network marketing too for this health and wellness company. And that's when I kind of learned a little bit more about clinical trials and how you can have these private clinical trials that accompany themselves, like companies pay for clinical trials, which was a big selling item for us because the company that I was with, we paid for blind clinical trials. We pay for all these types of trials, which are very expensive. So it was kind of like showing credibility, one, for the trials, and two, the money to be putting into the trials. And then you have the backing of these trials from these organizations, the FDA, for all of this stuff. So I'm not negating what you're saying, Sunshine. I'm just saying, like, now, because maybe Carter can come up with a clinical trial that shows otherwise. Like, even clinical trials sometimes becomes a little, which one do you look at? Not to dismiss them, but it's a lot of information to sort through. It's a lot of information to sort through. Um, Carter, they are indeed lifetime drugs. Carter, you don't have to take them lifetime, but you will most likely gain the weight back. Serena's husband is part owner in that company. Oh, okay. All right. All right. Well, that gives a little bit more. And you know what? Maybe, to be fair, I'll look into that. Because that could either mean she's just supporting her husband, or they really, really, really believe in it and really, really did the research, and, like, they will swear by it. So, unless you're a diabetic, I can assure you that they are not meant to be used for a lifetime. And I can guarantee you, I know far more than you about these compounds. Yes, men do TRT treatment. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Junior Largy. Carter, I'm a pharmacist, so I won't be arguing over this. That's right. And we're not here to argue. We're not here to argue. We're not arguing at all. We're sharing. We share here. We don't argue here. We share. Even if we have a difference of opinion. You can assure us, but you would still be incorrect. I'm sorry that was funny. Wait. Aw, continue being great. Thank you, the messy conservative. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And you as well. That's how I end my show. Well, kinda. I say you go out there and be great because you are great. Thank you, thank you. I take it every 7 days, maybe 10 days. I'm on the highest dose. It took me 1 year to lose. I thought you said you're in maintenance, so you're at the lowest dose. Maybe I read that wrong. Okay. Yes, you are correct, with necessary lifestyle changes so that you may not have to stay on them, but for some people, most, you will need it. Okay. Some of them are for men, some were for women, and some for weight loss and maintenance. Okay. Yeah, I really want to learn about this peptide thing. I really do. If you are one of these for a lifetime, that means you have not developed the habits and skills to have to be on them for a lifetime, and that's a you problem. Carter, are you a trainer? You seem like a no mess trainer. The folks out there that aren't fat because of food. You have to do what works best for your body. Hey capping. Oh, do you say he capping or hey capping? Um Carter, I understand where you're coming from. I'm speaking about people taking GLPs for obesity and overweight, not peps. See that, but that okay. So who asked me about Enrique? One of the things Enrique did say, I think, I can't, I don't want to get Cheryl. I think you asked me about Enrique. Enrique did say that people need to be careful about how they're interchanging the words because a lot of people will say peptides. Like even my friend, when I read to y'all, she said she was on my GLP and now she's taking peptides, but peptides is the umbrella, like it's not just one. So that's important too because some people might have experience with just GLP1, GLP1R, whatever the other thing is. Other people, it sounds like, have experience with other peptides. So it's not just one thing, and everything's not a GLP, right? um Brandon hooked me. Messy conservative. Don't you let Brandon send you one of his his basement his basement concoctions. Don't you let him send you one of those. People just need to stop relying on them as a crutch and learn that they can be used more effectively as a tool when they need an extra push when dieting. So Carter, it sounds like you're not saying, oh, your thing, Carter, was it should not be a forever thing. You're not saying it should not be a thing that you can use, but you're definitely saying that you should not be using it for forever because now you're no longer like really using it as a tool. You're using it as a crutch. I get what you're saying. I do. Carrie, making these items at home is very simple. It's called home brewing. China sells the powders. I did not tell you this. Okay. You did not tell me this. So let me see what else I got here. Oh, hold on. We got so many. Hold on. You should be learning to diet properly. Molly Mall, the CPA, that's because you're starting with discipline. Some people have 30 or 40 years of bad habits. Look, hey, Kim. Girl, I'm trying. I'm trying. You're over there glowing and looking amazing. Well, thank you. And I know wherever you are, you're looking amazing too. um, I won't be oversharing. I really enjoyed this conversation. I did too. I really enjoyed this, y'all. I for real enjoyed it. We wouldn't have been able to have this show happen like this tonight without you all. And that's every night, every Monday. Y'all help hold me down with the topics all the time. I truly appreciate it. Trying to really learn more about this, make an educated decision on things. Fasting is the best. No drugs, no diet. It helps your body practice discipline and self control. Listen, I definitely think that that can't be missing from, the prescription for sure. For sure. And as much as I said that I believe that a lot of us really want to make better decisions, we really want to take care of our health. I do think that we have been spoiled and it is easy to mistake discipline and self-control for the lack of it. And it's easy to tell ourselves that because we might not be honest about our own discipline and self-control, it's probably easy to convince ourselves that like I've tried everything and nothing worked. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to try this. Again, this is not directly correlated with the GLPs. I'm just saying to the idea of taking full control of our own health. And I'm not even saying this from I'm judging others perspective. I'm like one of those people. So I 100% hear you, agency headquarters. So speaking of food, dinner time, great chat, everybody, love, love, love. Yes, yes, yes. Carrie, you had me. My name, ChatGPT. Bob from marketing. Wait, isn't that he's from Martin, right? Puppet, 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 puppet. Oh my God, Bob for marketing. That is hilarious. But that's a good one because you finally caught up on all those shows. Welcome to the Martin Club. I have heard that, yes, you gain the weight back after using, and heard some almost passed away because of his usage, only saying this is what I heard, not and from videos, no personal experience. Well, listen, so oh wait, hold up. Stay away from these things, Carrie. Just go back to our weekly challenges and stick to it. You ain't gonna let me off the hook, Junior Larry. I'm gonna get us on these challenges again. I promise you. I am a coach and I specialize in helping people who are using all sorts of peptides, including GLPs and hormone replacement. And I knew it. You saw how I knew that, right, Carter? I could tell because you kind of have like a I'ma just tell you type of approach, which I appreciate in a trainer. So on that note, y'all, um, sheesh, I was gonna share my little list of things, but y'all, educated me. I'm just gonna share it so that I feel like I can include it. So these are some of the things that for those of us who are researching and don't know what questions you may want to ask. So a few questions you may want to ask when you're trying to research a new product or new drug, medication, whatever you want to call it. What exactly is being claimed? Who is making the claim and what qualifies them to make it? What kind of evidence supports it? Okay, let me start over. What exactly is being claimed? So, not peptides are amazing. Which specific peptide is supposed to do what? The second one is who is making the claim and what qualifies them to make it? What kind of evidence supports it? Human clinical trials, animal research, a theory, a personal testimony. Fourth is the actual product approved. Is the actual product approved, compounded, or experimental, and where is it coming from? Fifth, who is evaluating the patient and monitoring what happens? Sixth, are the risks, limitations, and unanswered questions being discussed, or only the benefits? Seventh, who profits if I believe this claim? Profit does not automatically make someone dishonest, but I should know the financial relationship. And finally, what is the long term plan? What is the medical goal? What happens if it does not work? What happens if I stop? So, hopefully, between these conversations, thank you, agency headquarters, for showing me some love. I appreciate it. I feel it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for the super chat supporting the show. So hopefully between this conversation tonight, everybody contributed information, which 100% I appreciate you guys. The last little tidbits that I gave you guys, hopefully you walked away either more knowledgeable, more confident in the decisions that you've already made, whether it's on GLPs, whether it's on your lifestyle, your health, your wellness. Maybe there's someone else out there that you can help. Whatever the case may be, I hope that this was beneficial to you all. I appreciate y'all for hanging in there. We went a little longer than I normally do, but it felt like it was good to keep on going. I think that it was beneficial. I will see you all here next Monday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Please, please, please do me a big favor in the meantime. Oh, on your way out, can you hit the like button? And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, you can do that too. But please, please, please do me one big, 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 big favor. Go out there and be great because you are great. All right, guys, I will see you later. Bye-bye.